Right now, as you're sitting there is a war being waged inside your body. It's this invisible, microscopic battle happening in trillions of places all at once. It's a constant fight for survival at the cellular level. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and take a look at that battlefield.
I mean, have you ever really felt that? That feeling of just being worn down, like you're constantly fighting off some unseen force day in and day out? Yeah, it's a feeling I think most of us know all too well.
Well, it turns out that feeling, it's not just in your head. It is absolutely real. On a microscopic level, your cells are under a constant two-pronged attack, from these rogue molecules trying to cause chaos and from the overwhelming flood of your body's own stress hormones. All right, so let's tackle that first threat. It's something called oxidative stress. And the main culprits? Well, they're a type of cellular outlaw we can call the electron thieves, but you probably know them as free radicals.
So what in the world is a free radical? Well, think about it like this. A normal, healthy molecule has a full set of electrons, all nicely paired up. It's stable. But a free radical is a molecule that's lost one, leaving it with this lonely, unpaired electron. And that makes it unstable, desperate, and, well, highly reactive.
And this is exactly where the trouble starts. To get stable again, that free radical will literally, violently, steal an electron from any healthy molecule it bumps into. But in the process, it turns its victim into a new free radical. And just like that, you've got a destructive chain reaction of cellular theft on your hands.
And listen, this isn't just some abstract chemistry. The collateral damage is very, very real. When these electron thieves attack LDL cholesterol, it becomes oxidized, which is a key step in the hardening of our arteries. When they attack the proteins in the lens of your eye, it can lead to cataracts. And when they go after your DNA itself, they can cause mutations, a known factor in cancer. So, how in the world do our cells fight back against this relentless thievery? Well, they have their own elite security force, the antioxidants. These are the good guys in our story, the generous donors. It really boils down to this simple, kind of beautiful dynamic. If free radicals are the takers, antioxidants are the givers. An antioxidant is a special molecule that can generously donate one of its own electrons to a free radical. This neutralizes the threat, and it does it without becoming unstable itself. It just stops that whole chain reaction cold.
But here's what's truly incredible. These antioxidants, they don't work alone. They function as this highly efficient regenerating network. It's like a team. So picture this. Vitamin E heroically jumps in front of a free radical, donates an electron, and neutralizes it. But in the process, vitamin E gets weakened. Before it can cause any trouble, vitamin C swoops in and recharges vitamin E. Then, special enzymes that rely on the mineral selenium come in and regenerate the vitamin C. It's this beautiful, sustainable cycle of protection. Okay, so this naturally leads to a really important question. We hear all the time about exotic fruits and vegetables being packed with antioxidants. But does being powerful in a test tube actually mean it's doing anything useful inside your body? And the answer is not necessarily. The real science points to this concept of a meaningful antioxidant. See, for an antioxidant to be truly effective in your body, it's not just about raw power. It needs two things. It has to be there in a high enough amount, and, crucially, it has to be in the right place at the right time. And this chart right here, it illustrates this point perfectly. So in a lab, lycopene, that's the stuff that makes tomatoes red, is actually a more powerful antioxidant than vitamin E. But look what happens inside the human body. For every one molecule of lycopene protecting your LDL cholesterol, there are almost 13 molecules of vitamin E on the job. In your skin, vitamin E can be over 200 times more concentrated. So yeah, lycopene is strong, but vitamin E is the truly meaningful protector in these critical spots. Okay, let's switch gears. We've talked about the electron thieves. Now let's talk about a completely different kind of attack, one that's a direct hormonal assault on our brain, and it's driven by chronic stress. You see, when you're chronically stressed, your body's main alarm system, this thing called the HPA axis, it basically gets stuck in the on position. And this causes it to just continuously pump out stress hormones. For us humans, the big one is cortisol. And this isn't some new idea. Scientists have known this is a huge problem for decades. As this landmark paper from way back in 2000 states, long-term exposure to these hormones has damaging effects on the actual structure and function of our brain cells.
So here's the crazy paradox. A hormone that's absolutely essential for helping you survive a short-term threat, like running from a predator, well, it becomes toxic to your brain cells when it just hangs around for too long at high levels. It literally starts to poison your neurons. So if antioxidants are the generous donors for free radicals, what do we have to protect our neurons from this hormonal flood? Well, for this, our cells call in a different kind of guardian, the cellular reinforcements, which are a class of nutrients called phospholipids. So what are these things? Phospholipids are basically special types of fats that are the primary building blocks of all your cell membranes. And some really fascinating new research is showing they do way more than just provide structure. They can actually actively protect our brain cells. And just look at this experiment, it's pretty amazing. Researchers took some brain neurons in a dish. The control group, they're at 100% health. Then they added a stress hormone and boom, cell health plummeted down to 60%. But, and this is the incredible part, when they added a specific phospholipid called phosphatidylserine, or PS, it almost completely prevented that damage. The neurons bounced right back to 95% viability. It's like it put up a shield. But wait, the story gets even better. It turns out these cellular bodyguards aren't just playing defense. They can actually go on the offense and help promote new growth. Check this out. In another study that was looking at the growth of new neural cells, that same phospholipid, PS, actually boosted the growth of new brain cell clusters by a whopping 14%. So it's not only protecting the cells you have, it seems to be encouraging the growth of new ones. Okay, let's bring all this home. Let's build our nutritional toolkit. We've just seen two very different threats happening at the cellular level, and two very different specialized nutritional solutions. This is really about being smarter with our nutrition to build stronger, more resilient cells. So here's the big takeaway. Here's your toolkit. On one hand, you've got the electron thieves, the free radicals. To fight them, you need the generous donors, that antioxidant network of vitamins E, C, and selenium. On the other hand, you have the hormonal overload from chronic stress, and to fight that, you need the bodyguards, phospholipids like PS that provide structural defense for your neurons. Two different problems, two highly specialized solutions. And all of this leaves us with a really fascinating and honestly a pretty hopeful final thought. We're now seeing on a molecular level how specific nutrients can literally defend our brain cells from the damage of stress and even help them grow. So it just begs the question, what does the future look like when nutritional psychiatry becomes a primary tool in how we manage and treat our mental health? It's a pretty powerful idea to think about.